Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to News Dose. And, over these past 12 months, we've seen a lot of change from the Xbox division. There's been a ton of speculation, a ton of conversation, and that'll likely continue for the foreseeable future as they become much more open about their multi-platform strategy. In fact, they're seemingly putting out a bold message about what they plan to do next month, and this has some fans talking. Now, we do also have a new handheld to talk about today that I think is actually pretty exciting if you're into the whole emulation thing. So make sure to stay tuned for all of that as well. But before we get started, I do want to thank my supporters on Patreon and on YouTube memberships. You all rock, and just thank you so very much for what you do. Let's go and get right into things, though, starting off with Quantic Dream. Now, this is very much a studio that has helped pioneer the cinematic choose-your-own-adventure type of game with AAA titles such as Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. So, considering their past work, a lot of people are hopeful that they can deliver a quality title in Star Wars Eclipse. Now, this was a game that they teased years ago, and there is potential with this combination. It sounds great on paper, and I am a fan of some of their past work. But there has been some concern here recently because NetEase, being their parent company, has been restructuring with a multitude of layoffs. However, Quantic Dream has now reassured fans that they have nothing to worry about for the time being. They said, "We want to reassure everyone that our studios in Paris and Montreal remain unaffected. We are continuing to develop our projects at full pace with several open positions available in both locations. In 2024, we achieved the highest revenue in our history, driven by the exceptional performance of our back-to-back catalog titles. Notably, Detroit Become Human reached 11 million units in global sales across PlayStation and PC last year, a remarkable 2 million increase year on year. That is extremely impressive. But they said, demonstrating the lasting appeal and quality of our titles. The development of our current projects are progressing as planned, and we are fully committed to delivering and launching these innovative, high-quality titles in the future." So, first off here, just big congrats on the success of Detroit Become Human. 2 million this late into its life cycle is extremely, extremely impressive. And I'm sure that's probably one of the main reasons that they remain unaffected from the NetEase restructure. They are a proven studio with lasting appeal. But I will say, there has been a long gap between releases. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but we are seeing it with this game as well. It seems like they're aiming for a 2026 release, which means that it'll be their first and only game since 2018. That is their longest gap between releases ever. But hopefully, the wait for Star Wars Eclipse will be worth it. Now, for you PlayStation Plus subscribers, Sony just revealed their March games, which you can see here. It includes Sonic Colors, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, and the big surprise being Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Now, I don't necessarily view this as a great sign for BioWare. Dragon Age: The Veilguard just launched 5 months ago. So to see it here this soon, I think is very telling in just how poorly it's done since its initial launch. But if you are curious about it, Dragon Age was previously a massive franchise with the previous game selling more than 10 million copies. Well, then you can go check it out on PlayStation Plus starting on March 4th. If I'm to give you a recommendation, though, definitely go check out the Cowabunga Collection. These are fun, old-school arcade beat-em-ups, and if you have some people to play with, they make for great couch cooperative games. Okay, so let's go talk about Xbox because they are just such a fascinating company right now. I don't know if I've ever seen a company change their strategy more often than Xbox has. Some companies have like 10-year plans, but when it comes to Xbox, it seemingly changes like every day, and it's hard to keep up with them sometimes. But they do have this new plan to be everywhere. This is now their new slogan. This is an Xbox. Play anywhere. In other words, Xbox is not just a console anymore. It's not just a PC. It's an entire ecosystem that transcends a single device. And obviously, I think a lot of people have questions about this because we're also seeing them push to what was previously viewed as rival platforms. It is a massive change for a console manufacturer that impacts so much of the game industry. It impacts developers, and most importantly, it impacts you, the consumers. So there are questions involved. Well, they are seemingly going to talk about what it means to quote-unquote be everywhere next month at GDC. You can see their announcement here, which reads, Xbox is expanding to any screen on any device, making it easier for anyone to play with friends that they want. Whether they choose to play with Xbox console, PC, smart TV, or mobile, at GDC we're inviting game developers to go behind the scenes to better understand what it means for Xbox to be playable on any screen. We're committed to empowering game developers to tap into that opportunity by building cross-capable games that takes advantage of Xbox across devices. Our presence will reveal the many ways game developers can reach more players with Xbox and showcase success stories of developers who are maximizing the opportunity. So, I mean, this is just another indictment that they're diving into this realm of we're going to be on every screen. This is something that they started with xCloud years ago, and it's really just another reason why I'm more convinced than ever that their next console will be a PC in disguise. They'll ship it with Xbox OS, which will make it feel more like a console, and rumor has it that they'll even be able to license this OS out. But they will be everywhere. This is something that they've been aiming for some time now, and I think that's the idea within Microsoft. It's only expanded just that much more this past 12 months. But all while pushing this message out to millions of people, there are still consumers out there that have legitimate questions about the strategy. I mean, we've never really seen something quite like this in the gaming space. And that's also why I continue to say I think they need to talk to fans. I mean, here they are, and they're going to go talk to these developers about what it means to quote-unquote be anywhere. Again, they've been doing this for a while with xCloud, but it's just a very bold slogan given the circumstances and how they're positioning their consoles and their exclusivity. So what I really think that they need to do is to sit down and to truly talk to their established fan base about what's happening, because they're the ones that are the most impacted by these decisions. You know, don't forget about the people who got you there in the first place. Right now, it's just kind of assumed that their games will be timed exclusives at bare minimum. That's kind of the ongoing theme that a lot of people believe right now. So that could include, you know, the upcoming Fable, Perfect Dark, and even Gears of War E-Day. But they haven't really announced that. So fans, their paying customers, don't truly know what's happening right now. It's all just kind of speculation for the time being, because they just won't reveal that information outright. I mean, even yesterday, there was a lot of speculation that Fable got delayed so it could include a PlayStation 5 Day 1 release. Now, is that true? We'll have to kind of wait and see, because I don't think anybody has a definitive answer right now. I mean, how could they when everything is just so up in the air? So this is something that I would like to see Xbox talk about with fans without using all of the PR speak. I know that's hard for them to do, but I think it's important for a lot of consumers. Just be upfront about what's happening, and then let consumers decide what they want to do going forward. Otherwise, these heated conversations that we see online all the time, just the fan speculation, this, that, and the other, is going to continue on every single time that we have any kind of news like this. Their message speaks to all screens, but how about talking to the customers that you already have? Either which way, they will be at GDC next month, where they plan to talk about what it means to be anywhere. Now, one more thing before we go, and this isn't something that I typically talk about, but this one caught my attention for a myriad of different reasons. Retroid recently announced their new Flip 2 handheld. Now, this is an Android device meant for console emulation, and the reason that this one specifically caught my attention is because Retroid has a fairly good reputation. They're one of the better companies that makes these type of devices, and last year, across the board, the Retroid Pocket 5 was listed as one of the best overall options for handheld console emulation. Anything below GameCube seemingly runs on it well, and you can even get some PS2, Wii, and Wii U games at good quality. Now, it's also got a good size to it. It's not too big, it's not too small, and it has a beautiful OLED screen. Well, now they're going to take that beautiful 5.5-inch OLED screen, and they're going to bring it over to a flip device, which you can see on screen. It's got a very Nintendo DS look to it, and in fact, it's actually a similar size to the new 3DS XL. Now, I am a little bit concerned about the button placement. Some of the buttons do seem to be pretty far inward, so I do question its comfortability, but it will be out this spring. It'll likely be around $220, as was the Retroid Pocket 5, but they just dropped its spec list, which comes with one interesting surprise. This time it'll come in 2 different variants. One with a Snapdragon 865 processor, and then another one with a Dimensity 1100. So this could actually bring its price down, and considering its high-quality OLED screen, that could be a very interesting option for some of those older platforms that might not be quite as demanding. Either which way, though, I think this looks pretty cool. Personally, I'm a big fan of flip devices because it makes them more pocketable without the concern of scratching your screen. And the fact that this has an OLED, yeah, this is going to be a standout emulation console for 2025. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this episode. But until next time, make sure to subscribe, ring that bell, and peace out.